What is up guys, Novum here, and today we had a decent amount of Final Fantasy 15 news, from interviews to a Final Fantasy 15 technical presentation that had shown off some cool new areas, and in case you haven't seen it yet, I'm here to cover it and analyze it for you. So recently Famitsu had an interview with Tabata, and Tabata had said Final Fantasy 15 will have 15 chapters 0 through 15. He said chapters 0 to 3 is about 15% of the game. Now it is worth noting that it will take around 8 hours on a regular playthrough to finish up to chapter 3. However, if you do near every activity up to the end of chapter 3, it will take you around 25 hours. This was from Famitsu's personal playthrough. Tabata stated that the first half of the game will be open world and that the second half will be linear. Now pause. This is not a bad thing. Later on in the game, I'm sure the story will become far more intense and a lot of larger scale events will go down. And in order to ensure a good level of quality control, they may have to temporarily bar off the freedom during these events. And I'm sure it will be worth it. I can also bet that we will be able to freely roam the world right before the final boss or even after beating the game with the use of the flying car, so no worries. The game's main story is still standing at around 40 to 50 hours, but we will have a lot of side content, secret bosses, and endgame dungeons. Some dungeons are said to be only accessible with the flying car as well, which is only available towards the end of the game. There was also a season pass that was recently announced that will come with 6 DLCs that they have set in stone to make for us in the future. However, Tabata also did state that they may make more than that, but they haven't really planned out that far as of yet. In other news, there will be a live Final Fantasy 15 concert on September 7th at Abbey Road, London with Yoko Shimomura. It will be live streamed and will last around an hour. I'm not sure if there will be new music or not, however. Alright, so now that the news is out of the way, I'm going to go through some of the material shown off at the presentation. In this first image, Noctis is standing on a somewhat wet road and we see a lot of apartment type buildings. I believe this takes place in Insomnia and it looks very similar to the opening scene of the Versus 13 2011 trailer. In this second image, it looks a lot like the Tokyo or Shinjuku inspired type area that we've heard so much about. This type of place was also seen back in the old Versus 13 trailer, and I gotta say, I'm surprised it's still in, and it's very pleasing to see. I'm just thinking about all the possibilities that could come from this, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Square Enix's official office building in Japan were somewhere within the final game in Insomnia. I mean, with all these real life brand names like Audi, Coleman, Uniqlo, Square has to make their own cameo in the game as their headquarters is based in Shinjuku as well. In this third image, looking closely, I can't really tell what city this is, but it looks pretty new to me. It also looks like it will be an in-game battle zone as we can see ships, soldiers, and the Zalam snake enemy. In this image, we can see a jungle and a pier looking area. In this image, we have some more forests. This image here has an odd bird type of enemy. Alright, so looking closely at this image, on the left you can see a road, but on the right, if you look closely at the UI, you can see the old E3 2013 UI with the Kingdom Hearts S command menu. This image may actually be really old though. Also, the regalia looks damaged or unfinished in the background. This image shows dungeons in the game, and more interestingly, the image on the right is a dungeon that looks like it's filled with ice, and it looks really pretty. This is an old concept image of the Lucille region. This image I'm not so sure is old, I haven't seen it before, and I'm not too sure where this is. Also, more forests. This was an odd image of Ravis doing a split as they were showing off the clothing physics. Finally, in this image, we have more Luna. However, on the top left, you can see that CG render of her. If you look closely, that is the exact CG face render Stella had back in the E3 2013 trailer. They modified her hair a bit, but I feel that this does prove that Luna's face is taken directly from Nomura's 2013 Stella render. Moving on here, I have a few pieces of footage as well. In this video, they show off Noctis doing his aerial flips, but the third maneuver looks a bit more like a dash. Maybe it's a later ability that you might be able to unlock through the Astrosphere, who knows. This clip here has the in-game models of the main cast, as well as Luna, Arden, Ravis, Gentiana, Aranea, Cid, Aeris, Cor, and Sydney. Also in this clip, you can see some of the Titan animations. In this clip, we have a small look at the many weapons you can use in the game. And it's as I thought, there's a theme for each type of weapon set, and there seems to be many, but obviously they won't show it all here. This could mean that there is an ultimate weapon set in the game, which I would be down for. Whether it be crafting or hunting, I love grinding for the best gear in my RPGs. And finally, we have a really blurry clip of Prompto doing something really cool. I have to add, the explosion sounds in that clip sound really good, and if you also take the time to listen closely to the music in the background, it sounds like the Reclaim Your Throne theme, but redone on a violin. That was pretty much it for my coverage on the news today. Maybe I missed some smaller things, but this was the main meat, and I'm very excited to see Insomnia returning and looking as flashy as ever. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.